Welcome to Analyst Talk with Jason Elder. It's like coffee with an analyst, or it could be whiskey with an analyst reading a spreadsheet, linking crime events, identifying a series, and getting the latest scoop on association news and training. So please don't beat that analyst and join us as we define the law enforcement analysis profession one episode at a time.
How we doing, analysts? Jason Elder here with another LEA podcast deep dive, a special episode. We are going to cover today all that you would need to know to attend the 2026 LEIU IALEIA Annual Training Event. And with me to help me out with all this information to share is Kelly Kimsey, the IALEIA Chapter Director. Kelly, how are we doing?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on today.
Thank you. You're quite welcome. Looking forward to going over all this information. And for the listeners, Kelly is returning. I've had Kelly on the show, and she's also my neighbor.
There you go.
Which is a fun fact. I will put a link in the show notes for her episode if you are interested in finding out more about Kelly's background and contributions to the profession. All right, this is a deep dive specifically for the LEIU IALEIA conference happening in Orlando, and we're going to go through everything that you would need to know to help you prepare for the conference. If you're still considering going to the conference, there's opportunities to still join the conference. So we're going to go through what you need to do to register, what you do once you get there, all the different speakers, the agenda, the events. We're going to take care of you, so to give you a little prep on everything you need to know to help you have a great time in Orlando. And just a little housekeeping, we'll be supplying all the links for how you register, the agenda, all the information we're going to go over. We will supply links so you can go in there and check it out later. All right, Kelly, where do you want to begin?
Well, let's talk about first the dates. The dates are April 27th to May 1st. We are holding this conference that we do every single year. We hold it all over the United States. Last year, we even did it in Canada, in Vancouver. It's a wonderful conference for intelligence and investigative analysts to come and network and do great stuff and learn some great stuff from some great speakers. It's being held at the DoubleTree by Hilton at the entrance to Universal Orlando. You can actually walk to Universal from the hotel, which is great. Registration, like you were saying, is still currently open, and it'll stay open online until April 24th, but it will close after that date, and we will not have any registrations at the actual conference. You won't be able to show up and pay. Everything has to be done ahead of time. But yeah, we have some great educational classes to look forward to Monday through Thursday. We start opening ceremonies at 1 o'clock on Monday. If you want to, I can go ahead and talk about the pre-courses. We do have 2 courses that we're offering ahead of time, so you can almost get like 2 trainings in one, because you attend those pre-conference classes. They are an extra fee, but they are really great information in reference to OSINT. It's actually a 2-day course that you can take Saturday and Sunday before the Monday conference, an open source intelligence class given by Intel Techniques. Like I said, it is an extra fee, but it is a wonderful training that I've heard wonderful things about. And I think it's definitely something that if you're coming to the conference, it could be something that you do and get ahead of time. The other pre-conference course is ArcGIS for Intelligence. That's held on Sunday. It's a 1-day course. Again, it is additional fee, and it's limited to only about 40 students. So make sure if you're looking into something like that, and ArcGIS is something that you use all the time, to definitely get ahead on this, because it's great to be able to have this class right before the conference starts on Monday. So those are our 2 pre-conference courses. You can register for those at the same place online. Both IALEIA and LEIU's website have the registration online to be able to register both for the conference and for these pre-conference courses. And I think it's a great opportunity to get some training ahead of time, because God knows that while we're getting some good training during the conference, you're also doing a lot of networking and seeing people. And so it's almost like a twofer. I really think that it's a great opportunity for people to get all their bang for their buck.
All right. And for those courses, are they both the same cost? You mentioned that they were extra. So are they both the same cost, or is there a different price for OSINT?
They are different. They're additional costs, and the cost for the open source intelligence 2-day training is $650 for LEIU and IALEIA members, and $750 for non-members. And then the ArcGIS, which is the 1-day course on Sunday, that's $150 for LEIU and IALEIA members, and $200 for non-members.
Okay. And for those, my tip always when it comes to these conferences and paying for these conferences, it behooves you, like to quote Randy Stickley, it behooves you to actually be a member, and to become a member
Absolutely.
is $50.
Right,
So
exactly.
you can save money by first becoming a member and then getting signed up for these courses and
Absolutely.
get a discount on the
Yeah.
registration fee. So that's my first tip there for those listening, is if you plan on coming to this conference, just go ahead and become a member of IALEIA or LEIU.
Right.
And then, okay, so then for the registration fee for the conference, what's the prices on those?
So for registration for the actual conference, if you're an IALEIA or an LEIU member, is $650. If you're a non-member, it's $850. We also allow for spouses and guests to come. If you have a spouse or guest that would like to attend, they would pay $150, and they would have access to any of the refreshments that we have during the day, the entire vendor conference room that all the vendors and sponsors are in, as well as the after evening socials that we have at night. They'd be allowed to attend. So,
all right. And so right then, again, you would save yourself $200 registration fee by becoming a member first.
right.
And so again, in the show notes, we'll make sure we include the membership page for those that want to become members first before signing up for the conference. Okay.
And that registration fee will get you all the courses, all the classes and sessions Monday through Friday, refreshments, the evening hospitality events, and the vendor hall. So not too shabby, if I do say so myself.
Okay, so we got the weekend taken care of. We got registration taken care of. Let's talk about Monday morning, the start of the 5-day conference.
Right. Well, one of the things that you can actually do Monday morning prior to the opening ceremonies is you can take the CICA exam, our Criminal Intelligence Certified Analyst certification. That you have to take an exam to be certified. We actually give those. Anybody can't take those exams anywhere. They have to be proctored. So what's great about the conference is if you're coming to the conference and you've always wanted to be CICA certified, you can actually take that test Monday morning. Or even if you're not attending the conference and you're in the Orlando area and would like to come take the test on that morning, you can do that. And to get information about that, you can reach out to professionalism@ialeia.org and tell them that you'd like to take the exam. And it's a great opportunity to both take the exam and attend the conference. So that's really good.
All right. For those that aren't going to take the exam, what's going on Monday morning?
Well, Monday morning, in the morning, we have a class for some. A lot of the times, a lot of people are still checking in at that point. The morning courses are kind of almost like bonuses. One of the great ones that we have right now is Resilience in the Shadows, Managing Stress and Maintaining Wellness for Intelligence Analysts, because I don't know about analysts out there in the world, but our agencies are very much concerned about our stress levels, about wellness, about making sure that we're all still in the right headspace, considering all the horrible things that we have to deal with on an everyday basis. And so it's great to see that there's some courses out there, both for command staff and analysts, to help us with those things and make sure our high pressure environments are not getting to us and we're not taking all that home with us every day and internalizing it. So that's one of the courses that we have Monday morning at 8 a.m. And then at 10, there's another one called Strengthening Bonds with Your Community, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, which is VICAP, which of course has been around. The FBI's VICAP program has been around for decades. And it's wonderful. They're having somebody from the FBI there will be there to talk about it and help anybody who's interested to learn more about it. And if you're working violent crime in your agency, that's definitely something you might want to check out prior to the opening ceremonies at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So if you are brand new and have never come to a LEIU IALEIA conference, and most times, some people come in on Sunday, other people will come in on Monday, even some people are coming in on Tuesday. If you come in on Sunday, first thing on Monday morning, if you haven't already registered, as Kelly said, you want to register. But there's also going to be morning coffee at 7:30, between 7:30 and 8.
Yeah.
And is that just coffee, or is there going to be light refreshments as well?
There'll be light refreshments.
Okay. Yeah. Light is the key. So if you're a big breakfast person, you might want to look to get breakfast either at the hotel or a restaurant nearby. So every morning, you're 7:30, you'll have your coffee and refreshments. And then in between classes, there's going to be a break, which also will have a designated area for refreshments
Yes.
and drinks.
Yes. They will have both approximately between like 9:30 and 10 a.m. They always have coffee first in the morning before the 8 a.m. class, but then at that break, that's the 9:30 to 10, you will have some form of a refreshment as far as edible. In other words, and you get your little donut or you get your bagel, and believe me when I say when you're running around like that, you want all that energy to sit in those classes and learn. So yeah, we definitely have those every morning.
Yeah, you threw me off with edible because I wasn't thinking the food. I wasn't thinking that kind
No,
of
meaning
edible.
eat as opposed to just those coffee drinkers out there. I'm
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
coffee drinker,
that would
so
be some heck of a law enforcement coffee
yes.
conference to be
No, no, edible,
hand out
meaning you get
edibles.
to eat your donuts and your sugar.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Sugar, some people say sugar is like a drug, and to me it is because I don't do the caffeine, so I have to have the sugar to pep me up.
All right, very good. So yeah, so these in the morning there, this is the first couple of days of the conference. We're only talking about one track, so there'll be one event going on at a time.
Right. It will be in the same hall. The two courses, like I said, there's only two courses offered in the morning time. So there's only one room. So anybody who attends those will all be in the same room. But then starting with opening ceremonies on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock, it will be the entire conference registration. Registrants will be in one room in a very large ballroom sitting together to come together, all one together and listen to the keynote speakers. And that's the same all day on Tuesday as well. You're all together in one room.
All right, excellent. So then going into Monday morning, finishing that up, lunch is on your own at 11:30, I see here based on the agenda. And then as you just mentioned, opening ceremonies is 1 p.m. And again, if you've never attended a conference, I highly recommend opening ceremonies. It is actually something that you should see once in your life type of thing. I think it does kick off the whole event and it feels real at that point in time. You get to hear from various people and understand that so much work has gone into this event, and you get to hear from folks that have helped put this together. So please take the time to attend opening ceremonies.
I love the opening ceremony, especially when we do the flag presentation, because it just goes to show you how international we are in reference to this conference. I mean, currently, although we're not done with registrations, we have 13 different countries that are represented at the conference this year so far. We all the way from Australia to Canada, Ghana, Jamaica, Netherlands, Nigeria, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the United Kingdom, Brazil. So we're really represented. And like I said, we're not even done with our registration. So I think that's a great representation when we do the opening ceremonies and have the flag presentation for every different country that is being represented at the conference. It's really a neat thing to see when we do that. And then, of course, we have the opening ceremony where we will have the host agency, which this year is the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which is my agency that I work for. The commissioner of our agency, Commissioner Mark Glass, will be speaking to everybody at the conference, as well as some other VIPs within the Orlando area will come and just give some opening remarks, making sure that everybody knows that they're welcome and everybody's looking forward to a great week there in Orlando. So the opening ceremonies will end by 2:30, at which point we will have another break. And then we will go into a great panel in the afternoon that is being held by the CIA, which is the American Manhunt Inside the Bin Laden Pursuit Team. That's going to be our keynote speaker on that very first day after opening ceremonies, and I really am excited to learn about it. The U.S. intelligence community formed a team to investigate leads to the location of that high-value target number one, Osama bin Laden. And this team identified his location. And during this panel discussion, the team members will share their careers and experiences on this high-profile assignment. So it's going to be really neat because people are going to be able to ask questions and learn about the successes and the challenges that they had in reference to this assignment that they did. So yeah, it should be neat to listen to this massive undertaking that they did to finally bring him down. So I'm excited about that first keynote speaker.
Yeah, and I'm always interested in talking about the military intelligence side and how it compares and contrasts to the law enforcement intelligence side. So it's definitely a great opportunity. And I really like panel discussions as well, to me, to get the different perspectives. And to me, they seem to always go so fast. It seems like this is a 2-hour presentation, and I have a feeling that probably 2 hours isn't going to be enough. But by the time you get the presentation and trying to get all the questions in.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. If classes like this, when everybody's interested in the topic, and remember, there's never enough time. You always want to be like, I could sit and listen to them for days. And so, but it will be, I think they've done this type of panel before, and I think that it will be really great for us to hear how it all worked out. And like I said, listening to the successes and challenges and how they had to prioritize their leads and their lessons learned. I love when there's case overviews of showing this is what went right, this is what went wrong, this is how we can learn. And so lessons learned is such a big deal on any project, not even just an assignment like this, but any assignment that we do. So I'm really excited about listening to them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some really creative workarounds on this. So.
This is Dr. Eliane Carr from the Ellensburg Police Department, here to talk about the first of its kind, the Crime Analyst Census Survey. This is an opportunity for crime analysts from around the world to be able to share information on the demographics that make up the field, be able to look at the relationship between commission, non-commission, and how we navigate that relationships in our career field, and also to look at training opportunities and development that will help us foster the opportunities for growth and development, both personally and professionally. If you're interested in taking the survey, you're welcome to go to the link in the show notes below. Ensure that your voice is heard and included in the data.
Hey, a quick public service announcement as we head to the LEIU IALEIA conference in Orlando. This is one of the best parts of the profession. It's where we learn, connect, and build relationships that can last your entire career. And yes, it's Orlando. Have fun. I was recently talking with Brandy Scheiber, IALEIA's Strategic Outreach Chair, and we were swapping a few stories, you know the kind, where someone had a little too much fun at the conference and it followed them longer than they expected. So here's a reminder. Enjoy yourself. Meet people. Build your network. Just don't be that analyst people remember for the wrong reasons, because the reputation you build at the conference, it sticks. Have fun, but remember, you're there as a professional. All right, and then to finish up the events for Monday, we finish off with the hospitality, the meet and greet happening between 5:30 and 8 p.m.
Yeah, on Mondays, on Tuesdays, and Thursday, we will have a social event that we'll be doing. A hospitality is what we call it. It will start about 5:30 p.m. And the first night's going to be basically a meet and greet. Represent your agency. Come out with your coins, your challenge coins, and your agency memorabilia and shirts and everything like that, and come out and network and get to know everybody who's there. That really is one of the core backbones of our conferences, is networking and learning about all the different analysts that are out there in the world and how we can all help each other. That's one of the best things about being in a professional organization like LEIU and IALEIA, and is that you can't possibly know everything as an analyst, and you have to have those outreaches, those people that you can lean on and know you can go to get additional information when you need it. And that's what it does. Ever since I've started attending conferences I've been going for the past 11 or 12 years. The people that I meet and the time that I have that I spend getting to know who's out there trading business cards, I can't even count how many times I've utilized those network connections that I've received, and it has really made me a better analyst. Say I meet somebody from Nebraska in the state police, it's always better to have at least somebody to start with. Even if they're not what you need, they're going to know who to contact. And so that's why having great connections, and we all learn from each other. That's the best thing. So I love the hospitality night events, because then you do really get to really see who's attending, and it's a little laid back, and you're allowed to learn from other people and find out what other things are out there. I've had some job offers during some of them too. So that's why it's like, you never know what you're going to hear and you talk about. So you never know who's looking for jobs and looking for analysts in their area. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, and seek out the folks that are international representatives.
Absolutely.
And to welcome them to the conference and the country. So yeah, that's definitely, you never know when you're going to need somebody from a certain location, to your
That's
point.
right.
And also, I will be there. So, hey, come find me. I will be giving out buttons for the podcast, so you can get a button if you come talk to me. So I'm looking forward to talking and listening as well during this whole week. So that's a great event. That's a big full Monday. Let's get some sleep now and come into Tuesday morning.
Okay. Tuesday morning, like we said, is still, we're going to be all together in the same ballroom on that day. And we'll start off with the Countering Hybrid Threats Program. Executive Director John Cohen is going to be talking about emerging technology, artificial intelligence. And as we know, artificial intelligence is everywhere right now. Obviously, right now, literally everywhere you look, you see more AI trainings and courses that we all need to take. And believe me when I say it, we're going to need to continue to take them. And that is why we knew we would have several during this conference in reference to AI and how it affects law enforcement, how it affects what we're doing, how it affects what other people are doing, how criminals are using it. And believe me when I say we all need the training on learning it and understanding it and how is it going to work for us and how do we benefit from it. So this is just one of the courses this week that will involve artificial intelligence and technical surveillance out there. So yeah, so it should be another good course for everybody. And again, that's what we look for, is we look for courses that we think everybody would benefit from, to be these keynote speakers. Not that everybody won't benefit from all the courses, but we want those best ones there so that everybody can benefit and you don't miss out in case you happen to go to a different course and miss a course, because you can't attend them all.
No, this is going to be a great opportunity to get some perspective from someone that's worked on cases and has some experience, since it is fairly new. It is an opportunity to see how it works in law enforcement. So that should be really good. All right. We still have our morning refreshments, both 7:30 and 9:30. And then that brings us to 10 a.m., the 10 a.m. session.
Right. And the 10 a.m. session is one called Briefing to Decision Makers. It's a panel discussion, just like we had on the first day. And once again, the same person from the AI conversation, the executive director for the Hybrid Threat Center for Internet Security, will be there, John Cohen, as well as the director of Illinois State Police and a retired executive analyst from the CIA. And again, it's one that I always love the opportunities to be able to ask questions once they present whatever their topic is, and because it allows you to really get the effectiveness of what they're trying to bring out. And being effective in intelligence briefings, especially for ones that we're having to, when you're doing at the highest levels of your command staff. In the unit that I work in, I mean, we go all the way up to the governor's office and have to do briefings. And so it's really a good topic to talk about, and how these briefings can directly shape public safety outcomes, crisis response, and long-term strategies when you do them. So I think it should be an interesting panel to talk.
Yeah. If you listen to this show a lot, one of my soapboxes is oral and written skills. And this sounds like an awesome opportunity to get some tips on
practices,
best practices for presenting to decision makers. So I highly recommend taking the time to get into and watching this one.
Yeah.
All right. Then after that, 11:30, lunch on your own, and that brings us to 1 p.m. Wearable technology, the impact of evolving technology landscape for investigations.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great one that, as we know, wearable technology today is ever rising. I mean, what we have, we not only for law enforcement, that what law enforcement has, but what the criminals have. And it should be interesting to get, I haven't had to deal with this a lot, but of course I see it in the news. Again, that's the other thing about a lot of our courses, is that it is a broad overview of lots of different types of things that you may not deal with or work with every day. So it should be interesting to see what's out there, what criminals are using, what law enforcement can use. So again, another great keynote speaker to be able to speak to all the registrants together.
Yeah, that is fascinating. And I just, as you were talking, I was just thinking, I was like, oh, I got two on me. I got one of those Oura rings, and I got a Fitbit, and of course, I'm probably not talking about cell phones, but I normally have a cell phone on me, and so I usually have three on me at any given time during the day.
That's right. They have so much now. Today's investigations are definitely having to realize that they're out there, that they're beneficial to investigations. They can help you solve crimes, but then again, they can also be bad and make it so that it's harder for us to do things sometimes too. So that's why we need to learn as much as we can about everything. But yeah, I have a smart ring. I have like, you almost wonder how much we carry on us and how much just tracking our work, so what we do.
And just like I think everything else, when I've talked to several experts, when they're talking about a certain technology, it's not just for big cases. It's not just for your homicides or your huge organizations that you're trying to take down. The tips and tricks that they're going to go over in this session can be applied to something as just a robbery, burglary type situation. So don't think that this is just going to be for some large major case. It could be something that's just any case, I'm imagining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to break at 2:30 again, and then at 3 o'clock we come back and we finish up with, we got another friend of the show, Sean Ramaran, is going to answer the question, are we asking the right questions? Critical thinking for analysts. I love the topic.
Yep. Again, critical thinking is in the forefront every day. A lot of times people think about critical thinking and creative thinking. It's both, they're two very different ways of thinking. Critical thinking is more logical and how we come to our conclusions and how we come to our understanding of how a crime is committed. Creative thinking, of course, is also where you're thinking out that infamous thinking outside the box, and all of those things, and how we think about things and how we ask questions and how we take logic and apply it to what we're doing. And is a great thing here. He's talking about confirmation biases and the fact that we all have, and there's logical fallacies, all the things that hinder the way we think as analysts. We all have those internal biases that we need to watch out for and make sure that we're using the basis of logical thought and not allowing those types of groupthink to overdo it. So this is going to be another great one for everybody who's attending, so that everybody can benefit from these great classes.
Yeah. And he's an analyst with the Pima County Attorney's Office. So he is an analyst for an attorney's office, which is fascinating. And so he's been on the show. So I will put the link in the show notes to his episode if you're interested in
name drop. That's right.
Yeah. So, all right. Very good. And then we have the hospitality event on Tuesday night starting at 5:30 and again running until 8 p.m.
Yeah, on Tuesday night, we have Wooster is helping sponsor that evening event, and we will be doing Tropical Tuesday. So we're going to have everybody coming to show up in your best tropical outfit and your Hawaiian shirt, and again, come out and network and get to know everybody and have a good time.
Yeah. And that reminds me with the sponsors, if you are never attended a conference before, so there is going to be a designated area for sponsors who are going to have booths and have tables there, and they are not scary people. Just talk to them. They'll be able to talk to you about their product and maybe even be able to solve a problem that you're having. A lot of these folks are former analysts working for the vendors. So again, take the time to talk with the vendors, because the vendors have contributed to help put on this week. So please take time to talk with the vendors when you can.
Absolutely.
All right. So that finishes out Tuesday. We start out Wednesday morning, and we got coffee starting at 7:30 to 8. But now this is where we splinter off, and we got multiple tracks going on for the rest of the week. So
yeah, absolutely. This is where we do our breakout sessions, and this is where you get to choose what you're interested in and what you want to see. We also, of course, have certain certifications and tracks that you can take and get these certifications through if you take certain classes. There's a total of 5 certifications: the Basic Intelligence Officer certification, the Fundamentals in Criminal Intelligence, the Fundamentals in Cyber Investigative Tools, the Fundamentals in Advanced Analytical Skills, and the Fundamentals in Criminal Intelligence Unit Supervision and Management. Each of them has 2 courses, so you can try and get all 5 of the certificates, but you must attend both courses that are in that track to be able to get the certificate. You don't have to get the certificate if you don't want to. You can attend any courses that you want. We will be, for those that are on the certificate tracks, you will have your registration ID that will be scanned and to be able to validate your attendance in those courses, so that it validates that you went to the courses and are able to get that certification track. But yeah, we break up in those days, and that's the start of where the courses are pretty much trying to have a broad overview of what all of us do, and with the trending topics mixed in there. So of course, we're going to have OSINT classes, we're going to have AI courses, we're going to have just basic intelligence and managing an intelligence unit and Excel and PowerPoint classes. But it also has things that you may not deal with all the time or may not specialize in, such as nihilistic violent extremisms, NVE. We have threat assessments that we have, where we have sessions that we'll be talking about about threats against the power grids, threats against core, or for instance, core groups such as the sadistic self-harm and the gore groups that are out there that are looking after child exploitation and looking at internet and all stuff that I absolutely hate to even talk about, but unfortunately it's out there, and we have some great subject matter experts that are going to come and talk about investigations that they've conducted and how to best do them. But we also have corrections intelligence. We have tradecraft reimagines, from digital identifiers to defensible intelligence. We have demystifying GIS, which is GIS for analytical practical tools, the power of analytical writing, and a financial analysis course talking about the embezzlement of a case study that was done by an officer out of Las Vegas, analyst out of Las Vegas, so PD. We try to cover almost everything so that you feel like you've looked at what is out there today and what's trending and happening, and you're getting a good understanding of all the different things that are out there. And so it's great that you be able to choose and pick which ones you feel are interesting to you. And if you don't want to do the certification track, or do the certification track and do the ones specifically designed for those categories that I talked about. So yeah, I'm really excited. We have a firearms course talking about firearm recovery, mastering ATF's e-trace and resources. So ATF's coming out and going to do an overview of their e-trace program. Yeah, I mean, you name it, social media. We have, like I said, OSINT, trying to think of some of the other ones that we have out there. But overall, I think this year we did a great job of picking courses that showed a wide range for all the analysts out there. And because God knows, no analyst, we're not we don't fit in a box. We just don't. We all wear different hats and we all do different things. You can be the same title at 4 different agencies and they all do significantly different things. Believe me when I say there's people that all they do all day long is human smuggling, or all they do all day long is narcotics investigations, and so, or homicides and violent crime. And so it's great to be able to go out and see courses in reference to that, but it's also great to see what else is out there, because we'd be amazed at how much stuff where you might learn from one investigation and apply it to the types of investigations you do. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't the type of investigation you do. I think we did a great job of making sure we had a good overview of different trending topics that are out there this year.
Andrew, I do want to start right there with the book. What pushed you to write this book, Large Language Models for Mortals?
I was really not happy with the introductory materials for Python. And so I initially wrote that book, Data Science for Crime Analysis with Python. And it's a similar sort of origin story for the large language models.
Well, how can people contact you if they have further questions, and how can they get the book?
Yeah, so the book is available on my website. My website is crime-coder.com. If you go to my website, I have a store to be able to purchase the book either in EPUB or paperback versions worldwide, so you can buy it and get it. For folks listening, I did create a promo code. You can use LEAP LLM, so LEAP LLM, to get $20 off of the paperback. I know from the prior Python book, a lot of folks like the paperback version. And I'll send you the EPUB as well if you use that code. And then to just contact me, I have a contact page right on the site, but you could also just send an email to andrew.wheeler@crime-coder.com.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode featuring Kelly Kimsey as we go over the LEIU IALEIA conference. If you want to learn more about IALEIA, learn from those who built it. On Analyst Talk with Jason Elder, I sat down with the IALEIA leaders, both past and present. Names like Marilyn Peterson, Sheila Dorn, Richie Martinez, David Jimenez, Phil Powell, and Peggy Pringle. And these are the stories behind the work, the decisions, the lessons, the moments that define careers. If you want to learn more, just head to leapodcasts.com and search IALEIA. That's leapodcasts.com, keyword IALEIA. Because if you really want to grow in this profession, learn from the ones who built it. Back to the certification. Is that something where do they get a paper certification mailed to them, or is it electronic? How does that work if they've earned the certification?
Yes, after the course, within 2 weeks, not only do you receive a email certification for attending the conference itself, but if you have done one of the tracks or more than one of the tracks, you will receive an email within about 12 days after the conference indicating that track was completed by you and have your name on those. So that's great.
Nice. And again, the agenda is going to go through all the tracks, and it also lays out which ones are certified. You can flag from there. If you see at a particular time, maybe there's two courses, two presentations at the same time that you want to attend, there are going to be opportunities for the certain presentations to be repeated. So look for that. If you see two, maybe look to see if it's going to be repeated on a different day.
It will. Yes, on Wednesday and Thursday, we do specifically for those certificate tracks. We do allow them to be offered more than once on different days. So that way, if you're taking one that you really have to, a course that you only want to take, but that misses the opportunity to take one of the track classes, that it will be offered the next day as well. So that way, you're not missing out by attending another course.
Yeah, so it takes a little bit of planning and a little bit of reading the agenda, but you can get it.
We're going to have our CVent app. Our CVent app is really the go-to place that you have to use to see everything that's going on in reference to the conference. It's going to have all the tracks. It will have all the conference sessions out there. It'll talk about the social events. It'll have every registrant and their contact information and all the speaker information, all the class information. Everything is all wrapped up great in that CVent app. It will be available about 2 weeks prior to the conference, and an email will go out to all registrants, and they will be able to download the app and be able to have the code to be able to enter for the event. And like I said, I literally live with that phone with everything because it tells me everything. I love that that app lets me know that where I'm supposed to be, where every classroom is, where's the food at, where's the vendors at, gives you maps of the hotel, maps of restaurants nearby. It pretty much does anything you could possibly ask it to do, short of take the classes for you. So
you'll be able to get in there and add your favorites, customize that. The directory's in there, as Kelly mentioned, and that's also a good point back to networking. If there's somebody maybe from either a certain part of the country or world that you're looking to meet, or maybe somebody from a particular agency, or maybe there's somebody with a particular skill set that you're looking to meet, that's an opportunity to go through that directory, find and target certain people to make sure that you meet before the week's out. All right, so we are not going to go through all 5 tracks here. Again, we're going to put the link in the show notes is going to have the agenda, and you're going to be able to go through this before the conference. And then as the app becomes available, I highly recommend that you download the app right away and you get accustomed to it prior to arriving in Orlando. You did a great job of just doing an overview of the types of cases, types of presentations that folks can expect. Again, there'll be 2 morning classes followed by lunch on your own, and then you'll have 2 afternoon classes. And then for Wednesday, though, as you mentioned, there is no social. You're on your own totally for Wednesday evening.
Right. We felt that because we are so close to Walt Disney World and Universal and all those places, that we wanted to be able to provide a day that maybe an evening that you guys would be, that everybody would be able to go out and enjoy the city for what it is and not miss out on coming to a social because you wanted to go do something else. So we left Wednesday open to let people enjoy the city and enjoy all the activities that are around so close to where the hotel is.
Yeah, as Kelly mentioned, the hotel is just a couple of blocks from Universal, and Universal has what they call City Walk, which is their open area of shops and restaurants before you get into the park. So even if you're not interested in going to the amusement parks, you will have access to City Walk, which is just a couple of blocks from the hotel. And so there's some great opportunities there, some really great restaurants, really great shopping. There's some karaoke. If you're a Harry Potter fan, and you can get butterbeer now at City Walk. So you don't actually have to go in the park to try Butterbeer. That's at the main shopping center there, store inside City Walk. Another fun fact for maybe those historians, I always like to point this out for while I'm on the topic of City Walk. So there is the Hard Rock Cafe at City Walk. As you're looking at Hard Rock, if you go to the right, there's some construction on there in that area because they are putting in a new roller coaster. But you can go in between the constructions and Hard Rock, and behind Hard Rock is a piece of the Berlin Wall.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's a little, I don't know why it's hidden back there, but it's hidden back there. It's a little gem, a little Easter egg. If for those that maybe history or just maybe want to go see it, that's the way to go. But trust me, there's a little walkway that you can go to the, just as you look at Hard Rock, go to the right, and it's right there where you can see it. But so City Walk has a lot to offer that's walkable, and certainly there's a lot of things to do in Orlando. If you get a chance to go to Disney World, fantastic. That's always a good time. I really like the amusement parks. I've been a pass holder to both now, both Disney and Universal. So you can, if you're looking for some advice, hit me up in the email, leapodcasts@gmail.com, and I'll definitely help you out because I do talking about amusement parks, obviously, as I've gone on a little soapbox here now. So, but so Wednesday is open for everybody, and highly recommended to get out and try to explore a little bit of Orlando when you can. All right, so that finishes up Wednesday. Thursday, as you mentioned, is a little bit of like a repeat of Wednesday, kind of the same format. You're going to have the similar tracks. You're going to have certain courses repeated, refreshments in between, lunch on your own. So really just a repeat of Wednesday. But then to close out the day on Thursday, again, between 5:30 and 8 p.m., there's the Thursday evening farewell hospitality. So this will be the last hospitality event of the week.
Yeah, and that one's sponsored by Esri, and we thank them so much because it's really, we try to go a little above and beyond the other two social events and really get everybody together on that last night to come together and meet. We're going to have the theme be Throwback Thursday, because it is Thursday, and it'll be Miami Vice style. So nice. We're going to ask people to come in their great 1980s, 90s Miami Vice look with your tropical colors and your big oversized suit jackets and everything that they did back in the day, but it should be fun to see some of us come out like that. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, we try to do a little bit more on that night, and to know that this is the last night of the event, of the conference. And it's one of my favorite. And this year I made sure that there was desserts. Not last year because Vancouver we did, but a couple of ones before that, they would have all this, and I'd be like, where's the dessert table? I need a dessert now. It's because it's not a meal, it's still refreshments, but I want to have that. This is a party. Let's have some cake, Yeah. So I made sure I won't tell you what it is, but I did make sure that we had some dessert this time around.
Very good.
So if you like the desserts on Thursday night, you can come see me and come to Kelly and say, Kelly, thank you so much for the dessert table.
Yeah.
Because I'm a dessert kind of gal. So.
Yeah, very good. And I really hope that somebody pulls off a white suit.
I love it.
With a teal shirt underneath.
Absolutely. Teal, pink, pastel pink. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Linen. Let's go with linen. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but this is another opportunity to just unwind from the day, last opportunity to get some networking in and wind down the day. Great opportunity for that. Okay, and then May 1st on Friday is a half day. There's classes on Friday morning, and I've taught on Friday, and it's a travel day. A lot of people just instantly take off. They don't bother with the classes. But hey, if you have the opportunity, please attend Friday because it is scheduled classes and people have put in the work to prepare and do these courses. As I said, I've taught on Friday, and it is encouraging when you have a really good turnout on Friday. So please consider staying to the very end and attending some of the classes Friday morning.
Absolutely.
And it's similar. There's going to be 3 different tracks. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 11:30. And then at 11:30, that's it, right? The conference is done. You're on your own. You're ready to either explore more of Orlando or head back home, whichever you choose to do. This is obviously a really full week that we've just gone over. You can go here from Saturday to Friday if you want to. So great opportunity to learn on various topics, to meet people, to experience Orlando. Should have some great weather.
Get to know sponsors. Absolutely. Go to that vendor hall and make sure you check it out. All the software the new software that's available out to all the analysts. So yeah, definitely make sure you talk to them. And because let me tell you that the age of software it just increases every day. Something new comes out, and believe me, and it's just getting better and better. So I love some of the stuff that they can present and show you, and your jaw will be on the floor as you watch what they can do. So it's definitely fun to go to around the vendor hall and learn from them too.
Yeah, so very good. Yeah, so again, if you're on the fence about coming to the conference, please consider doing so. There's opportunities still to sign up, become a member. If you're not a member, sign up, consider the pre-courses, consider getting certified.
If you are an international person who would like to come and you would like a letter of invitation, you can contact me, chapter director at IALEIA.org, and I can provide you with a letter of invitation that will help hopefully with your visa application to come into the country and attend the conference. So I'll be happy to do that for you. We do like that you register for the conference before we provide the invitation, because we want to show that you're coming, your intent is to come to the courses and to the class and the conference. So, but yeah, I'd be happy to do that for anybody in the international realm that might need that.
Okay. And if somebody's listening to this and still has a question after reviewing all the links that we're going to put in the show notes, if they have a question, who should they contact?
You can contact conference at LEIU.org. If you have a question, you can also contact me, which the email I just provided, chapter director at IALEIA.org. But either way, somebody will be able to get your answer back to you. And if you have questions about anything, if I can't answer it, I'm an analyst. If I can't answer the question, I'll find somebody who can.
There you go. Very good. That's another good tip. So very good, Kelly. Thank you for the time to go through this in your perspective. Again, for those listening, I hope we see you in Orlando. If you're coming to Orlando, please seek me out, get a button. Love to talk to you. Kelly, I'll leave you with the last word as we're going to close down this episode.
I just can't talk enough about how great this conference is. It is attended by sworn, non-sworn, international, U.S., Canadian. The amount of people that come and who you can learn from and the different courses. I've been going for the past 12 or 13 years, and really there's nothing like it out there. We really do. If I brag on myself, IALEIA and LEIU, we do a great job. But the two organizations come together to really make sure that this is reaching the teachable moments out there that we need as analysts. Every analyst needs teachable moments to make sure that we're keeping up on what's going on. And so I can't brag about it enough. And I hope if you haven't already registered, please do. If you have registered, now at least you get a little, and never been before, you have a little bit better idea of how it works and what happens. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We'll be happy to answer anything you need.
All right, great, Kelly. Thank you again. Safe travels, and we will see you in Orlando.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of Analyst Talk with Jason Elder. You can show your support by sharing this and other episodes found on our website at www.leapodcasts.com. If you have a topic you would like us to cover or have a suggestion for our next guest, please send us an email at leapodcasts@gmail.com. Till next time, analysts, keep talking.